Alright, we got the stream going up, readjusting a few things in OBS. There's DFAR kicking off. Great. Means we're past the loading screen. Woo! Pretty much British versus French, Battle of Waterloo, but it's been modernized. We're on the map Corsac. This is one of those first-generation Ukraine maps that came out a few years ago around the start of the conflict. It's a classic, I would say, at least nowadays for, modern 2025 Arma 3. But this is what we'll be covering today, and there is no artillery fire allowed for the first minute. That's kind of cool. I will, I'll add that in the note. Anyway, hope you're all doing A-okay. Let me get the prediction up for you guys. I have been spending the past few days working my butt off on various mission files. We had one this morning. It was short and sweet. Players, I let them vote on a poll. They want to do a bunch of Marines versus Starship Trooper bugs instead of just standard Starship Trooper bugs, which I think is great because I've got some fun stuff with that. But we have OFCRA at the moment, so let me go ahead and get the poll up. And then all the information about the match is in the exclamation point mission command. All right, Blue 4 are going to be French, Op 4 are going to be British. How about that? I'm going to set it to 20 minutes because I think they're going to... I don't think we're going to have to worry. Well, yeah, fuck it. We'll do it then. Oh, man, it's been so funny. A few of my Twitch friends were reaching out to me talking about... Well, not just today, but the past few days. They've been talking about the whole, Twitch viewership crisis. And I looked at my numbers, and they're completely unchanged. So I want to say, to all of you that are real human beings that come and watch some awesome Arma 3 footage, y'all are the GOAT. Thank you for dropping by. Hope you keep enjoying the content. But that was so funny to just have a bunch of channels DM me, old friends when I go, oh my gosh, my viewership tanked. And I just look at my numbers and I go, no, all my people are real. I love it. But I'm in a good mood. We are getting ahead on mission files again. We're getting back into my favorite system of I let the players pick what they want to play. We make the mission from that list. It's all from the honeymoon document and the second link in the menu command right now. And it's all funded by you guys, and all the picks that they're picking is from there. But I've also been chatting with a few people to get some other stuff done. We have a Warhammer 40k mission for this weekend, also prepped and ready to go. That got sent off earlier today. That's for the 700 Cadian. They're called the TOC now, but they're that 50, 60, 70 player group that does combined arms, and I've got a bunch of friends in there, all chilling and whatnot. That's going to be against orcs, and we're using that orc contraption mod, which is going to be great to see. And then, yes, Congo is also having choice again. I'm really trying to wrap that campaign up by the end of next month so we can get into Rhodesia. I'm still debating, though, if I want to run Rhodesia and Fallout at the same time. We'll probably start Fallout very soon. Not this week, but next week. And then we'll see if I'm capable of running both of those campaigns at the same time. Because keep in mind, I'm still also running Project 11. That's not going to be finished for at least another few months. Especially with how brutal some of you are on the pay-for-pain style, but we'll see how things go. Anyway, greetings. How you doing, Lord General? Dragon, going to a sushi bar for dinner, tuna cucumber roll, here I come, because you're allergic to salmon. Hey, man, I mean, eat what you can. Don't eat what you can, because you might hurt yourself, right? Daz, how you doing, broski? Napoleonic era stuff? No. Now, Arma does have the mods for it, but it's very limited, but these guys have decided to do a modernized version of it, so I think we're going to be seeing modern British versus modern French. They're just trying to recreate some of the aspects of the Battle of Waterloo, which means artillery. Lots of artillery. It's going to be great. So, with that, I'm going to be honest, OFCRA, I love them. They easily pull triple-digit numbers in their PvP, but whenever they do something that isn't standard modern-day style, regardless of the factions, so we're talking Vietnam, we're talking World War II, we're talking even 40k PvP once in a blue moon, the numbers drop because there just isn't that much of an interest of it. So I think that's what they did, because if they did an actual 1800 style Battle of Waterloo, we would probably only see at most a platoon versus a platoon, probably 60 80 people showing up at max. But by making it modern day, they still attract all their numbers, which I really hope I didn't shoot myself in the foot with that explanation. They're at 112 right now. So, potentially double the numbers will come out for an operation like that. So, here's the point breakdown, by the way, for those of you that are actually going to be pulling bets here. So, whoever holds Hougoumont by the 50-minute mark will gain 4 points. That's probably going to be an easy British victory there because it's square in their spawn. Whoever holds La Jolla Saint, by the 70-minute mark will gain 3 points. And then whoever holds from de Cleo, or Cleo, I think it's from de Cleo. From de Cleo. Whoever holds that by the end of the game will gain 2 points. And then any unit in larger area here within 50 minutes will gain an additional point. And then any unit in larger area will gain 1 point as well. I don't know what that necessarily means. I think whoever has the number advantage in the larger area gains a bonus point. But that means this operation is going to be over within the first, half of the game because the French are going to basically be trying to blitz this position because it's essentially worth 5 points. The only way that they can then win is if they take these two, which are, 70 and at the end of the game. So French, they can either fight for La Haye Saint and the final position, hold those off from the British, potentially split them, or they can just go right in offensive on this position and try to win it out. But we got big open fields and all this crazy stuff. But I'm really curious to see what weaponry they use to kind of, quote-unquote, modernize this mission. We might just see bolt-action single-shot rifles, Or IZH 18s, like single-shot shotguns, with slug rounds to, mimic the range in the single fire. So we'll see how things go. Charlie got a wedding in an hour. Nice. Have fun, broski. We had an op earlier today. It was a nice little intro to some Marines versus Bugs. My community has so far unanimously voted to do 3 missions in that instead of standard Starship Trooper stuff. So I'm going to be combining the best of both worlds, especially with my previous ops. I'm going to do some old Liru style videos in the mission files. So that should be fun, and then we'll see some modern day stuff against the Bugs. I'm going to tweak their health values slightly, but we saw that recon squad get massacred. And yes, we also need to incorporate a bit with Dream being with his spider wife, since he got kidnapped in the funniest way possible. I'm so evil for that, but I love it. But otherwise, I definitely say British have an advantage because they're going to be spawning right next to the 2 main objectives. I think the point of this, though, is to potentially split their forces, because if they don't, then the French can single attack one of the objectives with a number advantage, or utilize their artillery to pound the British in a defensive position to weaken them, and then go from there. So it does look like the British have a nice start, but the fact that both sides have heavy artillery assets, I honestly think that is a curse instead of a blessing, because that's going to put all the British together in a position that is going to get absolutely pounded by arty and make them weaker, so the French can then potentially bulldoze. So we'll see how things go. Wait, how did Dream get spider naps? You're going to have to watch the VOD from the mission earlier today, because I totally, in pitch black, put a spider trapdoor module at his feet in front of everybody, and yeah, insta-killed his ass. It was funny as hell. Now, I'm a nice Zeus. I did bring him back. I also told him earlier, hey, I'm going to do this to you, and he totally consented to it. It's not like I did it out of the blue, but I'm going to be honest. It's Dream. We can totally do that to him. But yeah, no, in front of everyone under night vision, they just saw him immediately get kidnapped while he was screaming. And I'll fucking do it again. But yeah, no, that's going to open up to a nice 3-mission campaign. 2 or 3. If I can do 3, we'll do 3, but we'll see what I can fit in. That mod in the dark, I love it. I know 1 or 2 people were complaining how it was quote-unquote too dark. I'd love to see it from their perspective, but from what I saw and what I wanted and what I was like, teleporting myself into and switching my everything off to actually look through night vision on the settings I set, that was exactly what I wanted. Because sometimes not showing the players what's in the darkness makes it that much more terrifying. Especially since we have like 6 or 7 horror ops we need to do over the next 3 to 4 weeks. So that was me testing NVG settings for those ops too, because I want them to be scared. And if you needed to keep quote-unquote resetting the NVGs to C, I mean, that's your prerogative, but that level of darkness is exactly what I wanted. Ember, I already ASMR for so many people that pay me, but if you want, we can talk raids. But that's probably going to be a non-Twitch thing. Anyway, we're just waiting for these guys to get started. So, I mean, a few of the horror ops, it'll depend on the context of the horror op. I mean, some of the settings will be worse. Some of them you won't even get night vision. I'm just going to give you headlamps. And you're going to get your feet nibbled by doggos. But, you know, we'll go and we'll get there when we get there. I'm not breaking down any of the horror ops just yet. I think one of them won the poll. I'm just going to pick one that is, you know, however much effort I feel like putting into an op that day, and then I'll match it to that one op. Emperor's Children horror op. You know, it'd be actually kind of really funny from a viewer perspective and a streamer perspective to give a Warhammer 40k horror op and have them face things that they legitimately can't kill, like an Emperor's Child with why did I say Emperor's Child? Emperor's Children Space Marine with a melee weapon that's just slowly, you know, sprinting up and murdering them.
Oh.
That would be something, wouldn't it? I don't know how much my player base would enjoy that, but we did just murder most of them with bugs, so, you know, give them a good scare. Anyway, let's go ahead and go over the operation here. So we have the French side over on Blue Fort. It's going to be led by Emile, who's playing as quote-unquote Napoleon. Looks like they're going to be given SPAR 16s, or HK-416s here. We got multiple transport trucks, and it is just a bunch of infantry with rifles and RCO and holographic sights. I don't see any other weaponry.
Check.
Not gonna lie, I wouldn't have minded seeing Grenadier weaponry, because historically, Grenadiers were a thing at that point. But we also have some cars to drive around and whatnot. We have, I see. So here's the quote-unquote cavalry, which is just a bunch of French cars with machine guns. I kind of find that pretty funny. We have some MP7s in play for these guys as well. MP7's not a bad weapon. 40-round magazines, 5.7. I mean, that can do damage. And then we have our towed, our cannons, quote-unquote. So we got 3 D30 batteries with ammo vehicles, so they might have resupply.
But we will...
And then we got some additional riflemen up here. So we do have some Grenadiers with FAMASs, funny enough. And we have some additional transport. We have some marksmen here, so some bolt-action 7.62x51 rifles here. So those are our either scouts or just a range group to pick people off, but that is it for the French. Looking at the British, got a bunch of transport vehicles. They're clearly labeled in red. We got L85s for their weaponry. That's cute. PID is clearly marked, so, you know, hopefully there's no issues. We've got one cannon back here. They got some L85 bolt actions here, the L something something, but that's, that might be 308, or 338, Lapua, rather than 308, but feel free to correct me. Looking at the second group, this is their cavalry. So they've got a double gun. So they've got a GPMG and then another GPMG on the top. So one is a full 360, the other one's frontal. So their cavalry is a little better. Their submachine gun is going to be the carbine version of the L85. That's cute.
It's nothing.
And then the final group up here has a second cannon and more L85s. Some marksmen, and there's a random chucklehead over here. They're insulting him. That's funny. Got a Land Rover there, some more transport trucks. So the French, knowing that they're going to be on offense, have an additional cannon. I think I saw 1 or 2 more marksmen, but the British have better cavalry. So we have our first position here. The old 3CB tractor there, some water glycerins. These are some objects from, I think, Arma 1 and Arma 2. We got some Livonia wreckage as well, though, for vehicles here. not vehicles, excuse me, buildings. So a mix of different arma games there to create that first position. This is our 50-point objective, worth 4 points, and then the 5th point is worth the number advantage in the larger circle AO. This is our second position here.
Please tell me they added a rule so that they must keep formation as in the original battle.
God, Axel, I wish. I don't think they did that. They just have the standard rule of no lone wolfing and keep with your squad and then regroup if, you know, you are the only person there. Nonetheless, Axel, thanks for the 40-month resub, buddy. Hope you keep enjoying the operations. Hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. But this is our 3-point objective at the 70-minute mark with the 4th point in this wider area. And then we have the Clio objective worth 2 points at the end of the game. Just tucked away over here closer to the French. French are going to have to leave something over here, probably just command or whatnot. But what is our commander aspect? We have Anglo-Allied command, which is Fawns. So it is Emil versus Fawns, 2 heavy hitters in OFCRA, and we'll just have to see how things go. Big open map because it's the southern side of Corsac, so pretty open territory to be fighting in. We'll see what groups decide to utilize the trees. British force is definitely going to be playing more defensive. We'll probably see some infantry branch out into the tree line areas here to try to give more coverage on the chateau here. Excuse me, the, gosh, this objective, the Hougoumont is what I'm going to go for, but we'll see how Hey Saint is defending, because we also have some pretty big open areas over here as well. This one's going to be a lot tougher to assault, but there are ways inside, but I'm assuming the British are going to cover these. British definitely going to be playing a bit more defensive. The Land Roves only have ammo for the for the front MG. Ah, okay. So the rear MG is just for show. Got it. Paper Tiger style. Ha! Reading over what you guys are saying. How good is the MP7 for Congo? You're going to have to do ballistics testing, see how good a 5.7 round is. I know a lot of people have been favoring the ASP and getting it from the black market because it's a smaller cartridge. And you can get a bunch of ammo for it, and it's integrally suppressed, and it's big enough so it will insta-give people if you hit them. I know a few others have like the T5000 because you can carry a bunch of ammo for it. More than you will ever need. It's just you are running a bolt action, though, so it's hard to work with that. But yeah, Congo should be fine with its wrap-up. I know plenty of people are sick with it. People were just sick at dying because people were using pretty dog shit tactics for some of the operations. I was just sitting there going, yeah. And then Charlotte gave me some complaints the other day because I was apparently RCing too hard, and she was mad that I RC'd and killed her Vic, and it's like, eh. It already took one RPG hit because of point blank, and then it already took the AI firing at it once, so I just finished it. But hey, c'est la vie. Now, for this campaign, I'd imagine the French, we're going to probably see them send, as I said earlier, something to hold that by the end of the game. They're either going to assault this 50-minute mark objective. They're going to stage over here, cross in through the forest, come around this way. Could see a force try to sneak around the south, but it's a little too close because we have this other tree line over here. And then we'll see forces come into that position. British, they're either going to pick... they're going to have to hold both objectives. There's no way that they don't. So we're going to see a picket force go out here, maybe another force over there. Force hold this area. Maybe some front forces are going to go ahead, but, I mean, the British, it's a little harder to predict where they're going to hold because there's just, I would say, too much territory for their forces to hold, and they really risk stretching themselves out too much and allowing for the French to bulldoze them. But they can't group up in one area because this is an artillery fight, so we'll see if, you know, things get blown away. So we'll just have to see how things go. Also, Congo, by the way, a quick segue back. I do have the next auction ready. I've got like 8 really cool guns and then like 2 or 3 loot boxes with a bunch of crazy stuff. Did I try to Battlefield 6 beta? No. I'm going to be honest. I hate to say this, but Arma does take up a shit ton of my time. Past 3 days, I have been up since like 2 or 3 a.m. Yesterday, I was up till 6 a.m. That's also because I was trying to fix a water heater, but that ended up getting completely replaced because Bloodwing's family is crazy. But I've literally built 9 mission files in the past 72 hours. I'm not even joking. So I plan on building a few more, but I cannot stress enough how much time it takes to build mission files. My goal, though, is after the wedding, I will finally have some free time again, and then maybe we can go on, you know, some other games. I'm not sick anymore, though. I don't even have my cough anymore, but that's also because I've been religiously drinking coffee and tea, but I'm using the time that, you know, now I'm back to my normal self, front log everything again, start uploading through all the channels again, get all that front log, and then, honestly, by then I'm going to be getting married at that point. And then we'll, you know, have that free time and I can start getting back into other games. I really want to try Helldivers. I really want to get into Battlefield 6. There's a lot I want to do. I want to bring my Tuesdays back, but there's a lot. I just have to get there. Because, I mean, you guys know me as the Arma guy at this point, you know, the Arma Zeus. I'm going to maintain that all the way up into 2027 when we get Arma 4 coming out, and then everyone will be back. But, you know, until then, work on what I'm paid for. Oh, Ember, I did like 4 on one day, 2 yesterday, and then like another 3 today. Or, no. Yeah, today I finished one. This was over the past 3 days, not including today. I think the longest one was 4.5, 5 hours. That was the Warhammer 40k one for this weekend, because I pretty much built it from scratch. But yeah, I know plenty of you want to see me play other games. I want to play other games. I want to get back into my Dark Tide on Tuesdays, for example, but you gotta be a little patient with me, alright? Because, IRL's a bitch.
The main road from Waterloo.
But we have a lot of cool Arma shit coming. If you want a taste of that, type ! menu and click on the second link. And you can see all the really cool Arma shit we have coming. By the way, that command is going to be updated for tonight because that first menu is going to be the POG menu, because we do have POG in about 4 hours, 18 minutes, or 12 minutes. 12 minutes. And we'll have a few fun things for you guys. OFCRA has tier 5 body armor. And the really funny thing about it is that's because of the players. That's not because of me. That's because the players discounted the armor. Because I put tier 5 body armor for OFCRA to buy at like 400 resources, but since I captured Blue Fours, that discounted it. So I'm like, oh, I can literally just buy the most powerful body armor for my troops now, because I didn't spend any of their resources for 2 weeks. I'm like, all right, this will be a great investment. All right, so as I predicted, British forces were probably going to do a bit of a spread out. Covering, I thought there'd be a few forces inside the objectives. That's not the case. They're going to avoid the Blue 4 artillery by staying out of the objectives directly. They're going to be around them. We do have an interesting, like, all-around defense here, so probably some forces being kept in reserve, especially with some of the cavalry forces with these machine gun cars. But they're really, really loosely spaced out. So there's pretty much 4 types of units in this game on both sides. You have the standard infantry, you have the snipers, you have the artillery, and then you have the cavalry, which are the gun cars. Gun cars are going to be meant to rush the artillery positions and basically hunt for them. Infantry can defeat the cavalry because, you know, fire en masse. The sniper groups, which it's like, you know, 4 to 6 bolt action magnified optic rifles on each side, those can defeat your general infantry. And the artillery can defeat the general infantry as well, because those make up a bulk of the forces. But artillery is also meant to beat, you know, the sniper teams too, because you're engaging a position where they're fixed. So Blue 4, we have a force kind of going up to the north, probably do a wide flank around. Blue 4 sending some forces to the south. They're either going to try to sneak around and attack from the rear, or they're going to get into this tree line and then push in. OFCRA, though, super spaced out, really fearing that artillery. We have the second gun over here because they have an ammo truck with it. And they're just trying to deploy their artillery pieces. I'm surprised we're not seeing any British cavalry forces with those light attack cars, or any like spotter groups with non-armed attack cars starting to drive around the back line to try to find if there's any French forces that are going to be coming, like, you know, either where they're setting up 3 of their cannons to, you know, do counter battery fire to try to destroy the artillery while it's fixed, or just find any defensive French forces that are going to potentially go around the Clio. and just shell the shit out of that. So instead, the British are going to be very defensive with their artillery here. Just wait for the French forces to come in and then counter-battery their assaults through hitting their artillery or just, you know, firing artillery at where the Blue 4 infantry assault from. Do I have any plans for Star Wars, Halo, or World War II? Not at the moment. What I have plans for is listed in the second link in the menu document. So we've got Starship Troopers, we've got Horror Ops, we've got a Rhodesia and a Fallout campaign, and I need to run the totals again, but I'm pretty sure we also have a Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 2 campaign, because I finally have my ADATs. I found a mod that has them, haha, but I'm going to be honest, current events with the Special Forces stuff we're doing in in Mexico right now, I mean, that's pretty much the plot line of Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 2 with a little less emphasis on working with the local Mexican government, but it's inspiring. I think the real trick is how I'm going to mod everything in. I might actually put the Halo mod in it just so I can use the UNSC Halo 1 eyepieces, and that can be my fill-in for the Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 2 eyepiece HUD. Because I talked to the person that makes HUD mods, Galaxy Rose, she's a modder. She doesn't want to make a separate system for her HUD system. That HUD system is, for example, the one we see in the Sisters of Battle Ops. And some Warhammer 40k Space Marine stuff as well, because it got added to another mod, which is, the name is escaping me. But that would be like the perfect HUD system, but she doesn't have the time to outsource it for me. So instead, we can just fill it in with putting OFCRA in the mod set. You just have to remember, you can't put Warhammer 40k TIOW in a standard mod set because it requires an event handling mod that completely rescripts how some weapons work in baseline, which means it breaks other mods. But OFCRA doesn't have anything like that, you know. So you might notice that there is an OPFOR car. There's actually a few OPFOR vehicles up here. There might have been an OPFOR spawn to the north. Wait a minute. We had an additional OPFOR spawn, and it completely escaped me. We have some German forces coming in to reinforce. They have their own artillery gun. It's Prussia. And Prussia have also sent a scout team a little out of the map here. And they've got G36Ks. So the Prussians are coming in to assist. Interesting. So they have the artillery for the Prussian gun, trying to get just below this black line. It's been a minute, so I think both sides are now allowed to fire artillery at each other. So the Prussians, I guess, are going to be a dedicated counterattack force, hunting for some of the French forces here. Damn, I got juked because I didn't even see any flags up here. I didn't realize there was a force coming in. How about that? So we've got 2K Light being the gunner for the Prussian turret. I just hope he's within radio range. Oh, hold up. Cavalry just ran into a Prussian vehicle. The front gunner for their truck didn't notice. I have no idea who the gunner is. The driver's oddball, but they're not in the same group. Is it Alexander? Yep. He hasn't gotten any kills yet, though. He's reloading. He's got this nice openness, though. Can he finish the reload? Nope. They've got gunners in the back now, firing back. They hit a rock. I cannot believe he hasn't gotten a single kill here. He's not leading that vehicle at all. They're falling back. I am genuinely... We have one uncon back there, but he's receiving medical. Hearing artillery starting to fire. That is amazing. I genuinely cannot believe... Oh my god, he didn't get anybody. All right. Now we've got the French artillery firing. We have a Prussian spotter group near them, though. They might call in counter battery fire. As we now have the French coming in from the north, they're going to try to go for Haysain. And then the other force to the south is going to try to go right into Hougoumont. So, a little worried for the British-Prussian force because they don't have anyone playing actual site defense. What we could see is the guns then turn their guns to shell these positions once the French get in, creating a bit of a trap. And then the British will do some counterattacking with any Prussian forces. But the French guns are in a lot of danger right now from being counter-batteried or even pushed by this Prussian group. Meanwhile, this squad has dismounted and they're pulling site security here just in case there is anyone or that cavalry force tries to push them, but they are long gone. And we see the British are just very well spaced out here in the meantime. French, they've got a few defensive forces around this final position here, but that's not going to be that much of a worry till the end of the game. So these guys, I don't think they have direct eyes. Oh, no, they have direct eyes. You can see the gun sticking up right there, and you can see that truck right there. So I think they're calling that in now because they heard the guns fire, definitely. But we saw Artie shelling the random areas of the countryside. Could have been some pre-battery fire on the positions themselves. I don't see any impact craters, though. So very likely that that cannon fire was off target. Dream, I hope someone blasts Scotland Forever through your ears just to pay you back, buddy. How's the spider wife treating you? I disagree. OFCRA, it's very hard to tell who the early on winner is, especially after, like, you know, a first major engagement, because things will always turn around. You're not going to know until we see one side just start getting their ass handed to them, which can happen at any time. I think still either side has an opportunity to win. Looks like the cavalry. The quote-unquote metal horse here just crippled 2 of its legs. We'll see if they pull out their gun and put it down. But anything can still happen here, because we could see like one French squad just completely annihilate 3 British squads in PvP. Anything's possible. They have white uniforms to identify that they're the Prussians, probably because they wore white in the Battle of Waterloo, because the British had red, the French had red. Or the French had, whatchamacallit? Blue. I think they just got counter battery. They absolutely just got counter battery.
The right guns, so they are not nerfed. There is 10 rounds, and it's not the good nerfed rounds, so voilà.
Not only we were delayed, we got different guns.
So these are some of the dead guys.
And we were off mark.
So I'm going to go ahead and mute
full of
myself.
shells of OFCRA.
So basically they're just mad because they got counter batteried. Because Prussian spotters either utilized their artillery gun or the British artillery guns and absolutely crippled Op 4's artillery, or Blue 4's artillery capability. So we'll probably see a repeat of the fire mission. They're trying to do medical on him, but it's over. Rounds are a little off, but we see how powerful artillery is. As Napoleon did say, God does fight on the side with the strongest artillery. Or was it the most artillery? Either way, artillery is important. We saw the car drive by. It might have spotted the forces here, but the cavalry, again, should be focusing on those guns and the sounds of them. We have a British picket force right up here. This is a cavalry. No, it's not a cavalry. It's a light attack group. And then we got a French assault squad over here, and then another squad honing around over here, I think pushing for the objective itself. Meanwhile, the main French force is coming in from this side. They've already put smoke on themselves. This looks like a smoke shell that they grabbed as they're trying to conceal their movement or giving themselves away. I don't know, one of the two. But French artillery support is oofed. Looks like they're trying to potentially get one of these guns out of here. They might be able to get two. But it looks like they're trying to set this up while they're under artillery fire to potentially tow these away. But they need to act quickly, because if they correct the fire of this gun and move it closer, they're dead. So if they can salvage at least one gun and get it out of here, that'd be great. But that does mean this Prussian group might be able to steal the other guns. Surprised, I mean, they have to know that there's an enemy force around here having eyes on them, so I'm surprised they haven't called a car back to kind of, you know, start looking for that group. Either way, looking at the fire. Brig, thanks for the raid, buddy. How are you doing? All right, Settler was out in the field here. He just got taken out. Only knocked, though. Looks like Blue 4, they're turned around. They're going to try to sandwich this group. Op 4 is going to be sending a counter group to assist with this pincer action. We got more Blue 4 British forces, excuse me, Blue 4 French forces to the north. And I am hearing shells landing locally as well. Oh, that was a shell on top of some of the French forces over here. They're taking damage. So that means the British guns are firing locally on Blue 4 there to try to take them out. These guys are getting back on the guns, even though they took accurate artillery fire, and they're engaging. Crazy. So Prussian forces are starting to move in. They have realized that they're not going to go mobile, so they're just going to go up and clean them up. But we'll see where the RD calls are landing. It's either a pre-fire call onto here, or they're taking fire from forces over here. There's so many places where that artillery could potentially splash. We see these group, they're definitely going to try to hone in on that artillery gun because D30s are loud. That's amazing how this guy runs into here. That FAMAS, though, I think that's going to have the best fire rate out of everybody. Willie, look out the window and see Parthius here. Nope, someone else beats him to it and knocks Parthius out. Trying to look around to see if I hear that artillery splashing. But it looks like the Prussian RD spotter group just killed the driver in that vehicle and knocked out the gunner of this. So now the French are without artillery. And worse, the Prussians are going to be able to steal all that artillery. Smoke gets thrown in. Infantry are pulling out, though, so it looks like this one Blue 4 player wasn't. It's Audrey who was able to get a kill, but now he's being pushed. He does have the best CQC weapon here, though, with that fast-firing FAMAS. And we see it in action, but he's not able to get the second shooter, and he is taken out. So it's an even trade there, but we do see that... Well, I was going to say the Blue 4 French forces are winning, but we do have the Op 4 British forces trying to send that group to assist, but they're in the open, and they're being plinked at. So that's not good. Here's the thing. We have this major force coming into this zone here, so this will be worth 5 points. They're probably going to then bypass that area, walk over to the Clio position on foot. So the French are looking like they're going to be in the lead here, but it's going to be close. Because if the British just leave them to this position and go for the other two, they can still win. Because it's 5, 4, and 2 points.
Send in Goat Team 6.
Making this the tie-breaking position if it's absolutely needed. Bretchit, thanks for the 55-month resub, buddy. I hope you keep enjoying the operations. I do hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. That is interesting. This guy can always pull away from that area. This is a safe zone that the gun can then, you know, go into and then reposition. It looks like he left the gun. That's a noof. Now we've got more of the, this is Swiss forces coming in, but, you know, part of the French army. So that was the rest of the forces up here that are now displacing down over here. And then these guys, I'd imagine, are potentially going to flank that position. They're hunting for the artillery. So another knockout goes in. Grenade bounces right in front. That might double tap, but it might not be close enough. Either way, I doubt PHK is going to wake up. He did get 2 kills, though. You always want to have at least 2 kills before you die, because that means you at least contributed positive. So they're only sending a handful of French forces to actually hold the zone, because if they group up, they're going to get hit by artillery. But it looks like the British are sending a counterattack force through the tree lines into here. But it looks like some of them are getting spotted early on. One of the cavalry elements is getting shot. Looks like the car is now slightly high-parked. We've got Blastelzo trying to pick up his dead friend, not realizing he is actually dead instead of uncon. Meanwhile, this car had multiple knockouts as this position started picking them off. That's probably a sniper up there. That is a sniper. So Lolo's been tapping people. He is up a kill. Gets a second. And this cavalry never saw it coming. He's looking for more. Sees a little bit of movement. Gets a great shot on him, but it looks like it didn't register the headshot. Hits him again. Headshot. 3 kills. Double taps the second guy's head just to be safe. Reloads. Great sniper action here. He's double tapping that first body. There is one more blue 4 guy back there. You can actually kind of see his leg. He hits him! Oh! Beautiful shot. Puts a double tap shot on him. Doesn't finish him off because there are multiple bodies there. The other bodies might be body blocking. That was a beautiful shot. As soon as I called it out, this man sees it. And that is an entire 4-man cavalry group just eliminated. Actually, technically not a cavalry group. They don't have the gun on their car. It was a light infantry element. He just smoked them. So maybe Cole will wake back up. But as you can see, the other body's right on top of his, so it's preventing any bullets from hitting him in that double tapping side. But this French and Swiss group is getting absolutely wiped. Maybe we'll see a bit of a counterattack here. Never mind. One of them gets taken out. We're only down to Greg over here. He's running into the zone. We got a bunch of Blue 4 pulling out of this area. It looks like they're trying to deal with this British counterattacking force from the south. We've got the Prussians starting to take the field guns over here. I mean, just looking at what we have here, the British are still pretty well spread out here with the Prussians, but, I mean, the French have this one major force still right here, so if they can maintain the numbers, they're good. That's funny how he has a flag on him, but Roland here just gets knocked. I would argue still anyone's game. We haven't reached that critical mass position yet. Could still see something crazy over here. But if the French can secure both of these positions, it's over. I don't expect the British to be able to beat out this French garrison, but if they whittled them down enough to at least like half to 3/4, then it's GG. Because at that point, the remaining British and Prussian forces have the numbers to just bully whatever remains of the French and Swiss garrisons. But we see that the French forces are being very aggressive here. They don't want to be static on any positions till they absolutely have to. So that is why we see them all repositioning to counterattack this Op 4 force. But, I mean, they're just a bunch of picket forces. Sorry, I heard knocking upstairs, but I think that's just Bloodwing doing stuff. But we see that these units are separated out so they can harass this main group at multiple angles. Oh, she ordered Taco Bomb. That's why she opened the door. Okay. All right, sorry, I was just trying to figure out why stuff happened. They might have installed cameras with the water heater this morning. You never know. So I gotta be on my best behavior. Otherwise, we piss off the Greek government. Oh, no. Anyway, I'll tell that story at the end. Look at this battle line the French have made, though. And we see that, you know, the British forces here, they're doing their best, but they just cannot seem to get shots on target. Beautiful battle line that they're making, though, and now they're starting to get enfilading fire so that, you know, if this guy takes cover here, he's going to be shot at from the flank from another guy. Thank you, baby. Oh, that's a lot of mail. Well, I'll be busy between this and POG, that's for sure, but not seeing a lot of developments here. We do have a cavalry element coming along the rear here. Might catch this guy out of position. Will they notice him? Nope, they see this guy dragging him back. Take him out. Oh, it's Alexander. Well, he got one knockout again. No offense to Alexander, but he was given a vehicle filled with Prussians and he could only knock one of them out. And then he had a guy dragging another guy, and the best he could do was only knock him out. No offense to Alexander, but that man is not having a good time as a cavalry member today. He hasn't been able to kill anybody, and he's been handed units on a silver platter. I feel so bad for him. Oh, he's going to get memed so hard after this. I'm sorry. Please. Yeah, come on, get him. Get him. He's in front of you. Yes! Yes, Alexander. No, finish him. Finish him, Alexander! Wait, oh, he killed himself. But he didn't give him the kill credit! So he can't even score a kill because the British would rather hit the respawn button than give Alexander the satisfaction of having a kill! Oh, that's some fine trolling. Anyway, we got 2 blue 4 guys knocked out. That is because we have Rufy here, who is up a kill, so he's doing a lot of damage. But at this point, he is one man fighting the entire French line. And the British have snuck in a defensive garrison here because they know they've knocked out all the French artillery guns. I'm surprised we're not seeing the Prussians attack this group, but maybe they don't have comm lines to those units there. Meanwhile, the northern French groups have regrouped. They could at least push into here. I don't know. The French are looking pretty good right now, though, all things considered. Rufy's now using their smoke against them. He's on 3 kills right now. And he still has those 2 knockouts. One of them's uncon, the other woke up. Can Rufy channel his inner SL dream and win the match for the British by single-handedly taking out the southern French force? Do you think he can pull it off? Oh, he gets hit once. Starts spraying in the direction of the fire. Makes that guy pull back into concealment. Because there isn't really that much cover around here. I love that Rufy is using suppression capabilities here. He's bought himself a little bit of a breather so he can give himself some quick bandaging. He only has to worry about Major Khan on the rear, but he is playing too defensively. Oh, but Rufy just got 2-tapped. Based off the shots, that might have actually been Major Khan that just got him. Never mind. And he's now sprinting up to finish it off. Ah, the reign of Rufy is over. Now it is up to Lieutenant General, Roland. But he's taking marksman fire because people can see his funny little blue flag right here. He gets hit once. So now the French have to re-counterattack this position. We got 6 defenders on it. And then the French, they're regrouping on the north, and they only have a handful of defenders to fight down here. So we'll see them getting those defensive garrisons, but if they can hold both of those AOs, it's GG. And the fact that we have a bunch of British forces on the outside with Prussian forces means that all of the main infantry for the OFCRA element have been taken out, or are on the last legs of defending. So if the French can bully all of them, they're just going to force OFCRA to now defeat themselves in detail by sending those remaining picket groups one at a time or when they feel like it, and that's going to be GG. So I think the French, I'm not going to call an early GG just yet, but I see how this is going to all potentially play out. I think Roland's best bet would be to try to, flank around, either, get single kills or regroup with the other elements over on that side. Oh. So he gets double tapped by one of the gunners here. Killer J gets him. But we have Alexander making up for his poor marksmanship with the machine gun, and he at least helped get some shots on target there. So these guys are going to regroup and assault this position. We got the French force over here, mainly the Swiss elements, actually. Regrouping up here, potentially looting bodies as well, scouting around. Whew, they've only got 2 defenders here and a British cavalry element. Just kind of driving around marauding. So they're taking fire. Driver immediately goes evasive. We do have Napoleon back here, so he's still able to coordinate his troops. Command and control is a very important part about large stakes PvP. Because if you lose command and control, even if you have the number advantage, you're just going to let your squads kind of trickle in, and you won't even be able to exploit your number advantage. I've seen plenty of advantages go out the window because there's no command and control. But the fact the French still have command and control, despite losing their artillery, means they still have a solid chance of winning this fight. So we'll see these guys regroup. They'll engage the chateau here. They'll engage from the hill, keep these guys down, do a smoke charge. I think they're going to be able to get that southern position secure, and we'll see if there's any QRF that can potentially come in and assist them. I doubt it, though. We do see 1 or 2 artillery groups potentially coming back to steal and utilize the artillery back there, so that should be interesting. But we also, one thing I do want to note is these are the snipers, and Lolo did just bully the shit out of 4 people. And it looks like he now instead has an ACOG. He's moved it from that bolt action to a stolen French rifle, which I believe is an HK-416. Kind of funny that we have Orthodox churches here because this is a Ukraine map. And Waterloo, I'm not sure if there were Orthodox churches. I think they were just Catholicism, but or Catholic, but. Burst of machine gun fire just came out. That is from the attack car. Looks like it's firing around the vehicle here because they see that dismounted. So they're just trying to harass them to basically keep those infantry pinned. But as soon as we see these guys get back on position, if these guys can then get in position, I think it's going to be GG unless we see just a bombardment of artillery wipe everybody, like specifically on the spot. But I'm surprised the British artillery hasn't really been trying to hone in on the infantry garrisons that have been in this area. So that shows a little bit of lack of communication with these guys. But I don't see OFCRA's command. We see the First Corps' command, but we don't see the coordinator of the units together. So I think he died and left. So OFCRA lacked that ground command capability. So that's probably why a lot of the OFCRA units are still separated out, because there's no one rallying them. Now that could change. We have a full squad of Prussians here. Napoleon is going to spot him. No, Napoleon! Napoleon! Napoleon has been assassinated by a Prussian truck. He's still alive. The Prussians might send him to the islands. Oh shit, not in this timeline. See, but his body's gonna reset animation. That's how you know it's still alive. And then they run him over! How can we disrespect Napoleon? Let's get him out of his own car and run his ass over. Sounds good. Ah. And then we just had a cavalry exchange here. Looks like a French cavalry element drove up and eliminated a British cavalry element. And they are filling the horse driver with lead. Oh! Artillery is now engaging the static position here. Time to run, Frenchies, because that was pretty on target. We had one guy take some damage. So now it's just going to be up to the two hordes that are here to assault and hold. So we got the first one to the south. They're going to be able to take that position. It has to, you have to see these guys take the second position here. But if they get wiped by Artie, then it's anyone's game now, because Napoleon is not alive to coordinate his forces. Come on. All money, no whammies. Let's see if they adjust the gun south a little bit to hit this if they hit this compound, collapse the buildings. That will save the British. Shells coming in. Nope, they're not changing the range into the shot, and they don't have anyone here to potentially range it. But we do have a Zixme. Takes a stab at that group. I think he missed, though. They're all running into the open. They're routing. We've got some of the Prussian elements now driving around. They might try to get forces around here to cause an encirclement. We got some blind fire back. This is forcing them into the artillery! Oh my god, if they just adjust the round like 5 meters to the east. No, to the west. That's east. Oh, guys and girls. Repeat fire mission. Repeat fire mission. Please, someone repeat the fire mission. I want to see it I just want to see an entire group get wiped by a shell. Nothing would make me happier in this scenario. Let's quickly check back. We'll know if all those guys disappear what happened, but Tackleberry's breaching. He's on 2 kills. We've got additional blue force starting to come in on different angles. Looks like Blue 4 lost a few guys on this assault, but they're doing plenty here. Delonos just caught a 3rd and killed him so hard he got stuck at the doorway and had to render for a second before he fell down. That guy have a European Union flag on his... Yeah, except for the French, right? I mean, at that point, everyone was united against Napoleon. Ah, they're starting to leave the compound. Ah, of course, when the gun stops firing is when they need it the most. Crazy how that works. Tackleberry literally camping this spot, and he almost got his 4th kill right here. Crippled the hell out of Chavra. Honestly, Tackle, I think, killed 3 out of the 6 people that were here, because now OFCRA, they were at 6, they're down to 3. We just heard another artillery shell fire. Really, really cool if the British would fire artillery on their own position, danger close, knowing that the wind would knock the target. Wait. Oh. They're trying, though. Just give it a little spread. But yeah, these are mainly the snipers, so they only have bolt action for CQC. It was a bit tough to kind of put them in a CQC situation, though. But really cool. Wow, same exact target. But really cool that they are are trying to call Artie to save him in this position, but, I mean, all the targets are right on top of him. And the pistols, I mean, unless you repeatedly hit him in the head, you're not going to do much against them, unfortunately. At this point, hit the position. Because they put the same round in the same spot 3 times. People don't think to naturally do a little bit of spread with their rounds. They rely too much on the wind resistance to potentially do that, but if you don't have that much wind, the rounds are just going to hit the same spot every time. Well, look at this surround we're seeing on the northern group. This is what could win the game for OFCRA here if they're able to wipe that force. But they managed to successfully make these guys pull out. Oh, that already such a tease. So again, I think Blue 4 is going to successfully hold this position. I think OFCRA might actually be able to beat out that northern group, and then they'll just, you know, they've got forces here. So I think we're again seeing early GG calls, you know? A little bit of cook-off on that vehicle, though, so that's great. Here, they're doing some adjustments. Grenades being thrown in here. I love this keyhole, though, with this ACOG. If he can hit him in the face. Oh! Beautiful shot. I mean, hit him in the chest and knock him out. That's going to work just as well. Double tap. Yes! So they're going to throw grenades and try to get the shrapnel to go through the wooden floorboard here, but it's not going to be that successful. Who's currently alive, has the most kills? Hard to say. I mean, Digord here has 3. And I think one of his grenades cooked off his vehicle, which is why he has a -1, so even more based. Freaking one-taps this chucklehead that tried to peek him. That's 4 for Digord. You gotta love seeing how one man can literally stop an entire group. Bro's got a bolt action, and he's beating out people with spar 16s. Even throws his own grenade out there to screw with anyone that's still breaching him. I'm hearing distant gunfire up here. That's because this group is now getting whittled down. We're going to quickly look at this area here as we see a cavalry group. He has 2 kills, by the way. Multiple takeouts here. Looks like another cavalry guy came up here and was taken out. But now they're pinning these forces here, and you've got Pogo here. What is that? It's a lawn barrel. That's a 417 with like a 10-round mag, and he's trying to pick people off. And you got the rest of the French and Swiss force up here, now in one building as OFCRA moving additional forces around. So this group is just getting surrounded, and or encircled and eliminated, essentially. Back to the southern action. We have Digord's last stand. He's getting pushed from the other side. Pre-fired, but he gets the knock! Another guy runs in. Digord switches to his handgun. He's on 5 kills so far with an additional knockout. He gets breached. Oh, but he gets one tap by Eric. But he literally reduced this group down to 3 dudes and 1 knockout. I think Digord has won it for Blue 4. You're going to see the rest of the Blue 4 force get wiped up here, but by then, the French forces will not have the manpower to win this fight. I'm pretty sure we're GG now because of Digord's freaking massive cojones there to fight off an 8 to 10 man squad with a bolt action. We see the rest of this cavalry group getting hit. Nice. You can hear the chunkiness of that 417. Which I guess, yeah, technically would be a M110. But, you know, there's a lot of guns that are, like, literally the same. They're just called something different. Like, you know, the SIG P320, and it's also called the Mark 17, Mark 18, because different variants, blah, 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 but same critical issue. Yeah, no, he did that with a bolt action. L38, I think. It's the British bolt action rifle with an ACOG. So he was literally just quick scoping headshots or body shotting and then double tapping. So we got forces now coming in, putting grenades out. These guys, I mean, they're just going to stay in buildings, get grenaded. They're being forced inside now because of these grenades. Some of them managed to break away, but we got additional British and Prussian forces flanking them. We do have one remaining French cavalry group that's going to go hunting for the artillery, but we have Op4 on target here, and we got Op4 on target here. It's GG. Ooh, great knockout, though, on Nick there. And we've got already potentially landing close to this assault that might turn around if a big chunk of the Op4 infantry gets hit with their own guns. Anything's possible at this point. But I don't think they're going to do any of the proper spread they need, so. Looks like one additional Op4 man just tried to run up to the compound and immediately got magdumped. So good call for the French and Swiss forces that are still alive defending here. And we just saw the fact that this is wood, so the bullets are going to pen. And the remaining 4-man group up here is down to 2 with a knockout. Looks like a cavalry unit came down to hit them and got taken out, but they took out 2. Or 1 and 1 knockout. Meanwhile, back on the northern group, they're down to 1 guy. He gets breached by Draper hard and taken out. A little bit of crossfire there, but that is that group entirely wiped. And they're still shooting. I think doing double tap or whatnot. I just hope the RD doesn't adjust and hit him, but nah, it seems keen on hitting buildings over there instead. Blue 4 has a knockout there. Yeah, 2 knockouts and 1 guy remaining. That entire northern group is down. We are going to see a counter ambush here as some Blue 4 are going to finally be able to hit an Op4 gun. This is simple. You just walk up and then you tap this guy, watch this guy dismount, and then you kill him too. Literally just walk up to the position. People never pull local security because they're too bored to. Don't sit there. Just go up because you're going to give this guy room to actually get out. Bro, he's right. Oh, God. Can you spot the one French guy? He was in the corner of his vision and he didn't even notice. Oh. Oh, my God. That gun's taken out. Looks like the one guy here was actually able to get up the other 2, so there's still a 3-man fighting force, but they've got a bunch of Op4 around them. And the 50-minute mark is going to be called in 2 minutes. That's going to be 5 points for Blue 4. But then that force is going to have to trickle up into here, and, yeah. Oh, one of them gets knocked out again. They are being suppressed. We'll see if the vehicle continues to engage. All right, he gets back up. And we do have one of those guys getting knocked out, but we have the British sending 2 guys in CQC style. I'm wondering if we'll have some additional forces come up from over here. Maybe they're mounting up in vehicles to do it, but let's see if this 2-man group can get it done. And there goes the one guy on the outside. He is double tapped and taken out. Oh my God, he's got the ACOG on this 417. No, there's no suppressors. It's just the sound of that gun is very quiet, because sometimes Arma be quiet like that. He's out of ammo! Bad freaking time to reload. And the man gets him with the handgun. He's out of ammo for that one too! Boop. Boop. There we go. Wow, so they're moving forces down to kill the force here. Yes, they probably won't stop it in time, but if they have a high enough number, they're going to make this be a 4-to-1 point difference. So failed by east, completed by west, completed by east. Anyone, so it's because they had anyone in the area. So it is 5-1. So they were able to snipe a point out from this position because they had a position in this zone. We got some blind grenades being thrown. It's only smokes. Frag's also going at the top. No way. That is the luckiest grenade throw I have seen in a hot second. Bro literally rolled it down and hit this poor son of a bitch. It was just facing the outside. I award that one yike. 2K Light, that's his 4th kill too. Bro's done with Blue 4 shit. Luck was not on that one Blue 4 player's side. That's a given. So we got some Overwatch elements now plinking at these guys because this is only a handful of like artillery crews and vehicles. But hey, this could be enough to eliminate the remaining Blue 4. We got 2 knockouts, 2 remaining Blue 4 still up. And then we just have a 2-man team on the Arty gun, and it's GG. Unless Alexander, I just saw his name, redeems himself on that gun and manages to get a multi-kill on multiple Op4, then maybe. But at this point, I don't think the French have the manpower to win this game. Smoke gets thrown out. Oh, no fucking way. No fucking way did he just do it again. He's on, or is that VOD? That might have been VOD actually. Yeah, that was VOD getting a double kill on another great grenade throw. As one of the dudes wakes up, now it's 1 up, 1 still knocked down. He's not waking up anymore. Whoops, night vision flashed you guys. It's just up to Ash. And Ash gets breached through the fucking window. I don't know how that freaking British bastard just squeezed himself through the window and managed to get him, but goddamn. Now there's only 2 dudes alive. This is an Op4 victory at this point. Maybe we'll see the Arty rounds hit over here, but that's GG. Oh, yeah, older FNF VODs, we'd have something called Pierce Plays because there was this player named Pierce who did some of the craziest rushes in Friday Night Fights ever. You normally never see a rush in OFCRA, though. People are way too cautious for it. But I want to see where these shells are landing. But, nah, just look up Pierce Plays. Someone go find some of the Pierce Plays on the VODs. Like, those are nuts. Yes, OFCRA is usually only 1 round. Sometimes they do 3 30-minute rounds instead of 1 90-minute, but almost always is it the 90-minute round. But I think we're going to wrap it up here. I just want to see where these shells go. Wait a minute. Looks like he received medical, and I guess he was delayed because of the blood transfusion rate being so low. So we do have Wiki Quartz over here. He is up a kill. And I am hearing shells land. I don't think they're on target, though, because it sounds like they're potentially happening over at the chateau instead. Yeah, I have no idea. I don't see the craters. Am I covering FNF tomorrow? Maybe. Because there is something else I need to put up for Stanley. And Wiki gets blown up by a grenade. These Op4 Grenadiers, man, that was like 5 kills. I think 4 kills to grenades. Because we had that kill, we had the grenade roll down and kill the other guy, and then we had the double kill right there. And there was, I think, like, what, 6 of them remaining? Absolutely nuts. Great grenade plays, though. But with that, we're pretty much GG, because these guys are going to expend all the artillery. And even then, it's still 2 guys versus what'll still be, you know, a lot of people. So I'm going to call this here. Guys, our final stream, at least planned for today, will be at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be a POG mission. Op4 of Tier 5 body armor, so it should be quite interesting. I'm sure some of you might go heavy on the infantry. But otherwise, that is it for this, because, I mean, I'm not going to sit here for 30 minutes and just watch Blue 4 mess around with a 2-man team. But I hope Alexander can redeem himself. Regardless, thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. Enjoy the rest of your day or night. There. Why did Zixme just get mag dumped? Oh gosh, the Prussians are turning on the French. Wait, British, I mean. Whatever. Oh, wait, I think they just realized their mistake. But, you know, I think I know what's wrong here. So, Zixme is incredibly racist against Polish people. Fun fact, that's just a Zixme thing. So maybe Prussia sounds a lot like Poland because they both begin with P? So maybe that's why they just shot Zixme, to prevent him from shooting them. That's my theory. That's what I'm going to stick with. But hey, it's just a theory. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. Enjoy the rest of your day or night. Cheers, and have a good one. I'll see you guys in 3 hours, 15 minutes, give or take.